everyone, this is Future TT coming in to say, okay, so this is going to be part 2 of my previous video, which was about Let's Play. That was my likes of Let's Play, things I enjoyed about Let's Play. This is going to be the things that I disliked about Let's Play. I just realized that the video was going too long, so yeah, I probably split it into 2. So yeah, enjoy. My dislike section. So my first thing, I felt like Angela had some things that could have been developed. I don't want to spoil too much, but she was a victim of assault, and I do think that that kind of thing, that kind of storyline, maybe it's more developed in season 2, but that kind of thing, it was like, oh damn, this really happened, and now we're just gonna go over it, go back to regular scheduled program. I don't know. It was just, I don't know. You tell me how you feel about that whole plot thing, because it felt very like, let me just add this here and then let me go about my day. I don't know. You tell me. So the next thing is that the fact that he moves in right next door, the fact that Marshall moves in right next door, right after she got the bad news of him tanking her game and everything. Like, I just felt, okay, that's rather convenient. I know this plot point. The guy lives right next door. The potential love interest lives right next door. It's calm, it's cool, calm. But yeah, but it just gives me very like the guy next door kind of vibes on Wattpad. So, but it's okay. I know it's needed for the plot, but yeah. The next thing is that the whole glasses stick, I don't know what was in my head when I wrote this. Like I said, it was a very long time ago. Majority of the things that I put here long time ago, I only added some more recently when I was rereading. I think it was when her glasses fell, and then I was like, oh, but I've seen this glasses thing so many times. I've seen it. As a glasses wearer, I've seen it, and I'm tired of it. Next thing, when I did say I liked Marshall's unnerving optimism and cluelessness when Sam told him his whole like, I know who you are, blah blah blah. When she said all that, I was like, cool, calm, cool. But like, why are you listing whole statistics and facts? I just thought that was very odd. That was just very weird. Like, this is a random person. Like, you know him, you know about him. And obviously you like him as a YouTuber, so obviously you know these facts about him, but I still wouldn't say it like that. I don't know. That's just me. The next thing is, it kind of feels out of character for her to be like, and I put this a long time ago, but I do see it's maybe in character for her, but you tell me. I said here, like, it felt out of character for her to be like, oh, if you ever like redo my game again, blah blah, I'll sue you for like violation of property or something like that. I was like, oh, okay, calm, but it was just felt a bit but I'm chill with it. I don't think this is okay. It's not too bad. The next thing is, it's been 2 chapters and she does this ultimatum, and I just feel like it's a very like uplifting moment. It should be like, oh my gosh, yes, like go. Like when she says like, hey, I'm going to sue you. And it's like, if we had been given more like, oh, like we had seen more of her doing the work and her being like invested in it, and if we had like, you know what I mean, like if it wasn't part of the exposition of her just telling us, oh, this is the game that I worked hard for, and then he just tanked it. You know what I mean? I feel like it would have been more impactful for me to have seen her work on the game and seen how much it means to her, than for Marshall to have tanked it, and for me to have been like, oh my gosh, I feel bad for you. But I didn't really feel bad. I was just like, I do feel like they made up for it later on. So I will give the creator props for that. I think they really did make up for that, and I saw like how much this meant to her and how much she wanted to be an indie game developer and everything. But in the beginning, like I said, when I wrote this part, I didn't feel wronged on her behalf for her. So yeah, I will say what was good about that whole thing was her like ripping up the check that he wanted to give her. And yeah, the next thing is, why does his hand have to be so warm? Sam, I'm going to like, I genuinely wanted to beat up Sam when she said that. I was like, what do you mean? So she shook his hand and she was like, oh my gosh, why does his hand have to be so warm? And I was like, no, stop it. This is not how you're going to implement like a liking towards him. This is not how you're going to implement it. I don't want it. I don't want to take it away. The next thing is the dad. I put it right here. I remember when I clearly wrote this months ago. The dad needs to stop. You are a grown ass man with a grown ass daughter. Stop it. I get it. Sam was born prematurely, so she was very sick when she was really young. But like, stop it. Like, it's so annoying. It's really annoying. I don't like. I know. I don't know. Is nobody peeping it? Like, sure, it's cute, but at the same time it's also very unnerving. Like, stop it. It's just stop. Just stop. I don't like the dad character. Like, he's fine, he's neutral, I'm okay with him. But on the most, like, if it was like this is my like and this is my dislike section, and I say I'm neutral here, I'm probably more like here, closer to the dislike section. The next thing here is my Charles section. If you have seen my Charles video, I have a Charles video out now. He was the person who inspired my character assassination like entire series. I only have 2 of those out, but Charles was the one who sparked that, because I was like, why do people like this character but I hate him so much? So he is the one who sparked that whole line for me. So characters that people really like, the general consensus is people like them, but like I'm like, no, this is a problematic character that was not framed correctly. So that's Charles. I have a whole Charles section. I'm not going to go through everything here. I added some more things that I'm not going to go on here, because I'll probably make a new Charles video part 2 later on. But yeah, it's one of the videos that I still get like consistent comments. I still get comments to this day underneath it. Some ones that agree with me, some ones that don't agree with me, and I'm fine with both. But like, let me tell you now, I don't like Charles. So that's Charles. Can I tell you that his own section goes on for like 3 pages? I kid you not. Like, I'm scrolling down now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 pages. Oh, that's Charles. How can she be so hyper aware? How can Sam be so hyper aware of like her feelings, of her emotions, but yet she's not able to be like completely clueless when it comes to Link and how Link likes her? I don't know. I mean, first he asked her, "Hey, do you want to go out to a movie?" And she was like, "Nah, I got a game." And then he asked her to go on a hike, and she said another thing, which is very valid. I think she said I had asthma, but like she couldn't connect to like, oh, he's asking me out on a date. Oh, he likes me, so it couldn't click for her. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? It kind of brings me to my next point, that I've seen this trope of like the sweet friendly guy she's clueless to, like the one who's her friend. I've seen all of it. I'm not disparaging it. I'm not saying I'm disparaging the trope, because like I say in when I talk about tropes, nothing is really new under the sun, and it's what you do with that trope. So I will say I've seen it before, this whole Link, but you know what? I'm just gonna let it be, because obviously I'm not gonna try and hold it to an impossible standard. Obviously, it's not groundbreaking like this whole thing, but it's just not inspiring, you know. So I'll leave it like that. I don't know if I talk about Link later on, so let me talk about Link right now. Link is low-key really invasive. I think I actually talked about this, so let me leave it for now. So the next thing is that Marshall and Sam like Hawaiian pizza, and I think that's just the ultimate sin. They both deserve eradication. That's a first-class ticket to hell. I come at me. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that. That's a dislike. Next thing is, I kind of wish there were more black people here. You know, I kind of do wish. I know there's Abe, and then there's the girlfriend. What's his name? Jay's girlfriend. Jay is the older brother of Sam. She's black too, but it's like everyone else is very white. And I talked about this in Charles's point as well. Charles's like section of my character assassination as well. There were not any female women workers in there were not any women workers in like the workplace at Sam's like business. So I was very confused there, because it was I had a lot of opinions about that. I was like, okay, calm. So you have the receptionist who's a woman doing a stereotypical woman job. They're fine. You have Sam who's in the office. Everyone else is are men, and Sam is there and she's the boss's daughter. So you're telling me if Sam wasn't even the boss's daughter, she probably would not have even been in this office place. So it just annoyed me. It just kind of annoyed me there. I don't know. I do, like, where are the women? Where are the women characters? Where are the women gamers? Where are the women developers who want to work in this? But that's just me. Okay, so future T's here, don't pay attention to the video. I just want to say that unless maybe there would be like a point is going to be made by the creator about how there's a disparity between male and female workers in like this whole web developing industry that Sam is in. I think that would be a cool point to make. But if there's not a point to be made about that, I just feel it's kind of like, okay, but why is there no other woman in her workplace? Especially seeing as Sam has already pointed out that it's hard, period, to get into the web developing industry. I mean, the game developing industry. So yeah. Okay, cool. So let's bring it back to Link. Um, Everything above this now has been my old thoughts, the ones that I've done months before. So from here on out, at least in the dislike section, I'm pretty sure these are all like new thoughts. Okay, so Link, I think he means well, but he is too overly invasive. Like holding Angela back when she was about to like attack, um, she was about to attack Marshall. I see what it did there, and I'm willing to let that be. I'm willing to let that be because otherwise, I don't know what kind of bodily harm she would have done. But when Vicky told him, "Hey, let her go," you should have let her go. And just that's just me asking questions about her assault. I I don't know. Coming over to get like to Sam's place when Sam said Marshall was sick, and that when he came over, what happened was that she texted him like, hey, how are you, blah blah, and he was like, hey, I actually want to come on over. I think we need to talk, blah blah. And she was like, hey, I don't think that's really good because Sam Marshall's at my place right now. And he was like, what? He's at what? And then he was like, I'm coming over right now. And he came over. I'm like, I don't like all of this. I don't like all of this. And then when she proposes for Marshall to sleep over at her place because he's sick and he fainted on her, and she's like, okay, I don't want you to like faint again. Why don't you sleep at my place so I can keep an eye on you? He was like, what? He was like, huh? He was like, who? He was like, he was bringing up all these excuses. He was like, this is a random person. Why would you blah blah? I'm like, okay, I get what you're coming from, but at the same time, this is a grown ass woman. If she cares about someone who is sick right now, like, then she's gonna do that. She's going to do that. She wants to keep someone into her home. She will do whatever she will. I was like, oh my gosh, guys, there's so many other ways you could have approached this. So many other ways. I like where his head is coming from. He means well. I will say he always means well, but his actions always like, I don't like his actions. I don't like what he does with it. So I'm going to leave that for Link. Next one is if your dad and your brother don't like Charles. Sam, I'm talking to Sam. If your dad and your brother they don't like Charles, they use the word. I'm telling you, they flat out said this guy is a manipulator and he uses people. If I hear that, I would just say, okay, calm. That's pretty bold accusations. I'd probably be prone to believe it. I'd probably be prone. Her excuse for not believing it was like, oh my gosh, you guys can never live up to like. I mean, anybody can't live up to your impossible standards, blah blah. And I was like, that's a good excuse if it was for different words that they had used for Charles. If they had said Charles is overly like what's the word? He's overly blunt or he's overly curt or something like that. Maybe they use words like that to describe a different section of his personality. Maybe say, oh, he's too standoffish or he's too so and so for blah blah. That's something that can be contended against. That's something that can be like, no, you guys are just seeing it in some way. You just have high standards. But if someone uses the word a manipulator and uses people, how do you not where there's no two ways about that. There's no two ways about how do you not see when someone says someone's a manipulator, there's no way that can be skewed in any, like, how can that be skewed? If someone says, oh no, he's mean or something, like, you can be like, nah, you just have too high standards. If he says, oh, he's rude, you can be like, nah, he has two standards. You know what I mean? That's just personality wise. But if someone says you're a manipulator and you use, that's actions that have been done for facts. You know what I mean? That's just, you know what I mean? So it's like, why aren't you believing? It was just dumb. The next thing is linking to that is also like, fire the guy, fire Charles. If you think he's a manipulator that uses people, fire the guy. The excuse for keeping him on is, oh, he just does his job so very well. There are probably 1,000 million other people who can do his job so very well, maybe even better than Charles. So you know what? Fire the guy. You are not struggling. Your business is not struggling. You can take a few weeks to just, sort it out with HR. Be like, okay, we're trying to find a good fit, but you will find someone who can do this job that Charles does, probably even better than Charles. Is Charles not just like the manager there or something? He's not even like he's not even one of like the developers maybe that's very techy, but you could probably even find a replacement for all those developers there. Like, what? I'm not saying Charles is not irreplaceable. You can find, if you hate him so much and he's such a bad character like that he's a manipulator and he uses people, and you don't like how he's in so much close proximity with your daughter and with your sister, even though Jay doesn't work in the business, he works in a hospital. But my theory is that this whole thing of, oh, he's just so good at his job, it's so flimsy, it's such a flimsy excuse. Just fire him. Like, there's no two ways of just fire him. It's not you. And maybe replace him with a female manager so we can get more diversity in this in this workplace. I don't know, I just don't like Charles. I genuinely don't like Charles. I think this video has started to hate Charles trade. I don't know. But yeah, that's just me. The next thing is, I think this leaks on to season 2 a little bit. Like I said, I read a little bit of season 2. So the Ava, who is Marshall's older sister, I think, when she slut shaming Monica, I was really, are we doing that here? Are we really doing that here? Are we slut shaming right now? Is that what we're doing? I wouldn't think this is what I'd expect from this kind of character. I would just have not seen it come through. I just wouldn't have, because everything you're pointing me towards here, you don't come across as a kind of person who would do so, because you're obviously very smart. You're obviously very like opinionated. You obviously do a lot of things, a lot of extracurricular things, blah blah. Very, very headstrong, very like independent. She comes across as that kind of person. Obviously, we haven't seen too much of her in the story, but I just would not have. So yeah, she just seemed like the kind of person that I just would not even like ever think to slut shame women, especially one that she just met. Even if she's a protective like older sister of Marshall, blah blah, like it just, I was like, huh, is this what we're doing? So this is what we're doing. More on that interaction, but I'll probably bring it up later on for Charles's video. I have not forgotten about you, Charles. We're gonna come back to you later on. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that there for a second. In case I forget, I will say that maybe they'll probably get to be friends later on. You know what I mean? Maybe that whole tension thing was just that we could see them vibe later on and be like really good friends, because I see them being really good friends. They're just very like alpha, they have such like baddie energy, so I think like they'd be really good as friends. So maybe that tension was just like, oh okay, so now it's like, oh, they hated each other but now they're really good friends now, so maybe that's for that. But like, we could have done without slut shaming. I think we could have done without it. I don't know where that came in here for. I don't know. It was just uncalled for. It just wasn't needed. So we're just gonna keep that to the side there. In all her things, let me just leave that there. So the next one, the last one, final one of my dislike section is that the fact that Sam doesn't think she looks like the main character of a romance story. I have to mention it here because that was a joke, right? That had to be a joke. That had to be like a meta kind of thing. Just in case I put in my dislike section, in case it wasn't meta, in case it wasn't the creator like breaking the fourth wall, because she does that quite a bit. I think I've maybe counted maybe 3 or so times she's done it. when she's like broken the fourth wall. So maybe this was part of it. Maybe this was meta as well. But in case it wasn't, are you kidding me? I know it has to be. I know it has to be. It's a joke if it's not meta. It's a joke if it's not. If it's if it wasn't self-aware, it has to be. It has to be. It has to be self-aware. Otherwise, are you crazy? Have you seen Sam? I probably would have put her picture up in my character description. But Sam, brown hair, glasses, big boobs, skinny, white. I conventionally pretty. Telling me you're not the main. Tell me you're not the main character. Even her personality is main character wise in romance stories. You know, kind of shy, very kind, kind of meek. And contrasting that with like someone like Monica, who's like supposedly the main character, because she's like, oh, maybe if I dyed my hair, and I immediately thought of Monica because she has bright pink hair. And I was like, no, baby, no. Monica is most decidedly a side character in a romance story. She would not be, no. No, so let's just keep that there. I know it has to be meta. It had to have been a fourth wall break kind of thing. It had to have been like a self-aware moment, because if not, that's a joke. That is a joke. So yeah, that's my dislike section done. Let me just scroll all the way up. Let me scroll all the way up to go to my like my rating. So that's that. Actually, theory time is supposed to happen now. I honestly don't know. Maybe for theory here, I'll just say Monica and Eva will probably be better friends in the future. We'll probably know more about Charles's like probably I hate Charles. We'll probably know more about Charles's wife or ex-wife later on, whatever the case may be. Yeah, let me leave it like that. Let me leave it as that. And I have a feeling Angela and Link are going to have a relationship, and I'm not for that. I'm really not for that. If that happens, I'm going to be so mad, because let me continue. I'm not even because I ship anyone. As far as I'm concerned, I don't ship anyone with Sam right now, because these love interests that you come and put in front of me, I don't. Oh, okay. This is my final. This has actually put onto my final thought section. So let me just quickly say my rating before I go into my final thought section. For rating, I'm very undecided. I don't know if this is let me just put it on 5. Let me put it on 5, and this is my final thoughts now. I put it on 5 because I'm very undecided about it, and it's not even a 5 like, oh, it's a very middle grade. It's 5 as in I'm 5, I'm undecided, so let me put it in a neutral spot. I don't know if I like this webtoon or if I dislike this webtoon. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know, because there's some things. My dislike section is very much more than my like section, very much more, and I feel very strong on my dislike section. But on the whole, it's okay, and it's very similar to what I've read previously. So I don't know for now. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Let me put on 5, 4.5, maybe 4.5, 5. So yeah, so that's part of my final thoughts. I think, like I said before, I don't really like any of these main characters. If these are the characters that you're going to like, the love interest, you're going to present to me as a love interest, I don't like any of them. Let me just say right now, I don't like any of them. I decidedly hate Charles. I hate Charles. There's no to Charles. No to Charles. Go out and watch my other video on Charles. No to Charles. Marshall, I actually really like Marshall. I really like Marshall, but like, I like him and Monica. If he would break up, I would like that he stayed broken up with Monica. If that was the case, if they're going to break up, I would not want him to go and date Sam. I don't like that. No, I like Marshall though as a character, as a love interest for anyone but Sam. I like Sam. Do I like Sam? No. I'm okay with Sam. I'm okay. I like Marshall more than Sam, I will say. Link is okay too. He's just very bland. He's very bland. I've seen him before. I've seen this character before many times. I think that goes that way for like all the other love interests, and Sam too. I've seen Sam. I can write a book about Sam. I know Sam's character inside and out. Before I even read it, I already knew her character. I knew it. I know Sam. I know about Sam. I've seen characters like Sam. I've read about characters like Sam. She's the most done character. We've seen it. We've done it. YA. We've seen it. Wattpad has used and abused it. We've seen it. But after Sam, I think Link is kind of bland, and one of the other like overused characters. Not as definitely not as much as Sam, but he's bland. Link is a bland ass character. He's bland. He's bland. I don't know where's the flavor in there. I don't know. Just rather bland. So yeah, I hate Charles. Marshall's very cute. Very very just. I really like Marshall. I don't know what's going on. Can Bowser also like Marshall as well? Can we please have that happen? Because I think animals' approvals are very very needed and very very good. So for Bowser not to like Marshall, I think that really annoys me for some reason. That kind of hits me here. That kind of hurted me. It really did. Who else? Link. We know my opinions on Link. So yeah, so that's that. That's my that's kind of it. I don't really know how to feel about Let's Play. Like I said, for the whole, just for context sake, this whole thing is seven. No, yeah, this whole review is 7 pages long. 7 pages long, and it's not finished because I just finished season one. It's still ongoing. It is 7 pages long. For context sake, I usually do 1 page, maybe even less than 1 page for like a review that I'm doing, or at most 1 to 2 pages for that kind of thing, not up to 7. So yeah, I should tell you that the one that takes up the most space up here is Charles's. Charles, baby. But yeah, that's that. So yeah, go watch my Charles review. I'll see whether I'm going to split this because it's rather long. So I'm going to see whether I'm going to split this into part 1 and part 2. And yeah, go, like, subscribe, tell me how you felt about it. Be like, hey Titi, I get what you're completely saying, I understand, I see you, we're on the same wavelength. Or tell me if you disagree with what I'm saying, like, hey Titi, what's going on? Those opinions, they're very bad, very 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 bad. And then yeah, so tell me what you thought, tell me how you think about it, what are your thoughts about it. And yeah, that's it. Bye.